Hey, good morning, guys. Goose here. Welcome to STN Stock Talk with Ricky and myself. Guys, hopefully you guys have come over to stocktraders.net and joined our free trading room. And you guys know that we always say this every morning. Send us a message if you guys have any questions of anything that we're looking at. Any of the instructors there are happy to help you guys out with any questions about the site, any of the services that we offer. It's an amazing community we have. Hopefully you guys have gone over to stocktraders.net and checked us out. Just want to remind you guys that, every day we're going to try to provide you a couple ideas each or a few ideas each. This morning it's a little bit more. There's a lot on watch, obviously, in the middle of earnings seasons. So I want to make sure I don't take too much time, but just we're always looking at quality over quantity. And just anything that we're talking to you guys about, read the disclaimer below in the description section. These aren't solicitations. All this is just some ideas, some viewpoints on our ideas and why, and just try to open up some communication lines with you guys. So, and with that all being said, I'm going to turn this over to Ricky. I know he's got a few good ones, and I'll be back with you guys shortly. And let's get them, Ricky.
Good morning. Thank you, Goose. And this is day 2 of trading with my sick daughter home on my lap. Any more of this, and I'm going to have to add her name to as a co-host for the show. First thing on my list today, guys, is GNCA. And all I can say is please get this turd levitated. So Cantor comes out this morning with a price target of $5. Cantor, silly ass Cantor. You wouldn't have a hidden agenda here, would you? It's not like you were book runners on the last offerings that had a ton of warrants at $1.20 and tens of millions of common at $1, right? They have a very large percent held by institutions, but I still don't think this thing gets going far. Maybe they don't get this thing to levels I would like to see today, but you, GNCA, you have just landed yourself in my crosshairs, and when you do finally get that pop I want, I'll be swinging Thor's hammer at you to send you back to the levels where you will finally reverse split from. You got it? Good. So the levels I'm looking at, guys, if we can get over this $1.40 and hold a push to 2 would get me pretty excited. But this may be where it tops out at and heads back down, in which case I probably won't even trade it because it's not going to have enough meat on the bone for me. Now, next on my list is INNT. I would be doing a disservice to our followers that watch this show for Dirt on Turds if I didn't give you the scoop on this scam. So if you're not familiar with Innovate Biopharma, that might be because up until recently, they were known as Monster Digital or MSDI. Now, maybe it's starting to ring a bell. If it's not enough of a red flag that they went from being an importer of tech products from Asia to now being in the medical field, then look no further than the deals of their recent merger agreement. There was a recent shareholder meeting where they voted on a number of issues. 3 separate votes were for things involving the issuance of more than 20% of their OS to pay things off. Anything over 19.99% needs shareholder approval. They also agreed for a 1 for 10 reverse split. So they finally got the merger done after missing deadline after deadline for it. They have a tiny float and an upcoming phase 3 to now pay for. Not to mention, before the merger, MSDI was completely broke. I mean, they had no money. And to illustrate the kinds of deals that they had to make to pay off the debt, they owed $1.2 million to Walgreens, which Walgreens agreed to settle for $600K if they paid it immediately. So they gave an affiliate of the company 1.8 million shares for the $600K to pay off Walgreens. That's 32 cents a share on the price on the loan. Now adjust that for the reverse split, and that individual, maybe it's only 185,000 shares, but he owns them at $3.24 each. Safe to say the people involved with the merger are nicely in the profit now. I have no doubt in my mind that this thing will have some serious downside, but as of now, shorts are trapped big time. It trades with large spreads, and for now, the float is still low. Not only that, but borrows are very limited on the name. However, if you have borrows, consider yourself lucky as long as you know how to play a name like this safely. Wait for a setup and use good risk management to control your risk. Oh, that feels good to get that one off my chest. The last thing on my list today is something that I've been watching for a while that has been strong as a mofo, and I think it's coming to a point where it's the moment of truth. That would be Lumentum Holdings, or LITE. You can see it's been on a tear since the lower 40s, all the way up to where it's now. It's at the top of this big pennant that it's been forming. Let me zoom out and show you guys the weekly on this. Yeah, so this has been a really long uptrend it's been holding, but it also finally started putting in these lower highs, and now we're coming up to it. So basically what I'll be looking for is to see how it reacts around these prices. One of the things I liked yesterday was this ability to push up in pretty much almost a quadruple top up here, guys, and then it broke this level of 64. Now, pre-market is pushing back above that, but it's on very, very light volume. I'm going to wait and see what the open brings for us on this one, guys. That's all for me and my daughter, Kaya. So hand it back over to Goose, and let's hear his list. I think he has some actual longs for us.
Hey, it's always funny, right? I got to imagine though, Ricky, with Thor's hammer and all these turds and stuff like that, that your daughter's pretty much looking at you with a funny eye right now.
She's going to be a big DD fundamental girl when she gets older.
That's awesome. Gonna jump right into it, guys. Got a few things, and I actually got something else I wanted to comment on real quick. So let me roll through here. I'm gonna start off with CLSD. Okay, a couple of these actually I'm bringing up have moved up. I do have longs today, and so I want to give you some thoughts as far as now that they're already up a little bit. CLSD starting with, I was looking at playing it off that $10 area, which is a retrace play. It's about 60%. As you can see, I drew the little fib for you guys. You can see in this area. And what I was looking at, I mean, it traded 14 million shares yesterday, a lot of volume. Obviously, yesterday we thought it was, the fade was beautiful. We played it in the room. Ricky did a great DD on it. It was a fantastic call. And just like he had called it out in yesterday morning. But with 14 million on the tape, I wouldn't be shocked to see a lot of that at the market chewed up and things like that. So I was looking for a bounce play off that $10 area. Doesn't have to be $10 specifically. And I was looking for a push up into that 11.50-12 area, right up and through here. I don't think it's going back to 13.50. I'm looking for about a half that move from 10 to 13. $1.50 up from 10 is about 11.50, just for quick math there. But I'm not going to buy it into the strength. And I saw JP Morgan also, I think it was JP Morgan did an upgrade from 15 to 18 bucks a share. But I would like to buy this possibly on a weakness, maybe a little wash at the open. But if it wants to hold this 1030 or 1050 area, I'll look for a long and a push on this thing back up towards that 1150, $12 area. But I'm not going to chase it up here. I want to see how it opens now that it's already up a little bit. And then I'll join a trend on this. Hopefully it will bounce off that area that I'm talking about. So that's one of the things I'm looking at this morning. I want to talk to you about Target. I am looking at a long in Target, but I was talking in the room early this morning about it at 7 o'clock or whatever time it was, and it was a lot lower. It was up towards this area, the 72 area, and even a little bit lower. And I was talking about playing it off the 50-day here, or the 72 area, which is just below 72 is a pivot line there, and you can see the support line. So what I'm looking at is two things. First of all, I'd love to see an imbalance at the open and have this thing wash back down towards that 72.50, 73 area for a long. But I will join a trend on this. If this just wants to continue to trend and look for a red to green mood with a strong market, I definitely like that idea. I will watch the action. I'm not going to be naive and see, how it does and how it acts into the prior close, which is 75. And if it wants to make that quick push in there and get stuffed a couple times, meaning a couple lower highs, there's still room to fade it back. Because I do think it's going to come back and test this level possibly. So I'm going to be patient, make sure my entry is really good on this thing, guys. Nothing to chase. And make sure if you're going to join the trend, it's easier to join a trend after 10 o'clock and just join the trend that way than trying to guess what it does off an imbalance at the open. Next, I want to talk to you about Micron. Micron does something I like. And what is that? That's closing over this big figure here of $50. But it's really strong. Charts look really nice. Broke through that $50 area, closed above it. Problem again, it's up already a little bit this morning. It's up $1.30. It was on my radar. It was actually brought to me by another guy in the room. He was talking about it this morning, and I love the idea. But what I'm looking at is I'm really, really hoping for an imbalance at the open that I could scoop it down in the 52s, join a trend, and let this thing continue to go. I don't think it's quite that much overbought yet, and I think there's plenty of upside on, especially if we have a strong market today. So I really like the idea on Micron for the long. But guys, buy weakness, all about entry. Remember, if you're going to manage your risk reward, it's got to be about entry. Okay, guys, so don't chase anything. If you miss it, there's other things to go on to. Lastly, CIEN. Here's another one. Again, a lot of these things are kind of moving up. You can see the pre-market action. For what I was looking at, it came up on good numbers. On the daily, looking like it was a breakout. What I was hoping for was a wash at the open, and it actually, you could see it did it a little bit ago, where it kind of pulled back down in that 2350 area. But I was looking between 2350, 2375. If I could get a wash on this thing, which is going to be tough now, so I'll see how it acts. If it does wash at the open and gives me a buying opportunity, I'll look to see how it holds there, see where the bids are, and maybe trade against the low of the day or something like that. But I was hoping for that mid-23s level as far as an entry on that, so it's a little far away. So a few of these ideas that I have are a little bit away from the range that I want to buy them, but I still want to throw you my thoughts on them. And I'll finish with this note is, I see some news on AMBA. I'll pop it up. I didn't, have anything on there, and I might have talked about this name in the past, but there's I'm sorry, hang on, it was what did I put in there? Sorry about that. It was there was a low float one that was just running. That just caught my eye. AMDA, sorry about that, guys. And my only note to you guys on this thing is it's a low floater. How many times do we got to get hit in the teeth with one of these things, getting on the front side of this and you're trying to short and guess the tops and all that on the daily? And we could justify, here's the 50-day, here's the 200-day. It's got to stop there. It doesn't have to do anything, guys. Everybody is waiting for earnings season to be over and the low float monsters to get going again. And I just want to make you guys really, really careful on these things and be smart about them, guys. Don't, no reason to get in front of it. Join the trends. If today might not be the day, but just watch. It's worth watching the action. But I just want you guys to stay safe. This is finally a new low floater out there, and I just want you guys to be careful about it. So anyway, I'll leave it with that and not talk anymore. I'll give it over to Ricky. You guys have a great day today. Stay safe, and let's have a Super Tuesday. So back to you, Ricky.
Thanks a lot, Goose. Agree with everything you just said, guys. You don't have to short something just because it's up, and day one doesn't have to be the day. I'm going to have to sign off a little abruptly because the 1-year-old's getting a little cranky. Say bye, Kaya. Bye, guys. Everybody crush it. Peace.